All right, let's go. Let's go Buckeye Leaves. Um, Up first, let's go with the offensive player of the game.
Well,
Offensive player of the game.
pick a tough one, Eric.
Okay, I just did. Chris, since you wanted to, since you think it's tough, go for it.
Tough. I mean, it was obviously Jeremiah Smith. I mean, come on.
All right.
As a freshman, 6 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's out there catching the ball one-handed because his other hand's being held. Come on. I mean, this guy is a mismatch problem, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if your name is Will Johnson. I don't care if your name is Denzel Burke. You're not covering this guy one on one, especially on the outside. You're not. He is a physical mismatch for anyone. He is, just going to say it right now. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's the best player in the nation today.
Wow.
Man. All right, Johnny, Denzel Burke's interception yesterday was more impressive than Will Johnson's. Go look it up.
Oh, by far.
More impressive,
He literally stole
easily,
the ball from the guy.
easily. Um, okay, so let's see. It's a touchdown by LSU, so we must be set. Are we 7-7 now? Oh yeah, wow, look at that. That was impressive. All right, so I think 7-7 is the score
Are
of
they
the
playing at USC or at LSU?
Las Vegas
Oh, so it's like a
It's a
neutral
neutral
neutral.
site game.
Yeah.
neutral site closer to
Yeah.
LA, I would guess. All right, Jeremiah Smith. I love the video. You alluded to it earlier, Corey, where he's on a recruiting trip, and they ask him, where are you going to catch your first touchdown pass?" And he literally points to the exact spot in the end zone where he caught that touchdown yesterday. That's like calling your own shot,
It's his
man.
Babe Ruth moment. Yep.
It is epic. Offensive player of the game. Corey, who you got?
I'm gonna go. Look, Jeremiah Smith's the obvious answer, obviously, but I want to go somebody else.
Go with
An
it.
an unsung hero that played a great game, got a great PFF score. Seth McLaughlin, the center, because I honestly, offensive line is the most important thing to me. I need our offensive line. We all need our offensive line to get better and better and better. And it was in the interior of the offensive line was extremely inconsistent last year, but Seth McLaughlin actually had a really good game if you rewatch it. And I'm going to give him. I'm not saying he's the MVP, but I'm going to give him a Buckeye Leaf because I thought he had it. He's brought his experience from Alabama and he's solidified that center position. And he's just going to get better and better going forward. And we have that anchor in the middle of the offensive line. Bring back Donnie Jackson, and we're set.
Yeah, that's a good call on your part, Corey. He was pulling a ton
Yep,
yesterday,
he's
a
extremely athletic.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Good call on your part. Let's go flip over to the defensive side. Your defensive MVP, Chris.
Now, this one is actually tough. I mean,
Ah,
the whole line was great. But you know what? Despite the fact that Denzel had the best pick of the day yesterday, Johnny, by far the best pick of the day, Denzel Burke. Despite that, I got to go with Lathan Ransom. Led the team in tackles with 9. Had the scoop and score. You know, just tremendous game out of Lathan. I'll tell you, if he plays like this every week, there's going to be a lot of teams in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
hmm I agree with you. Tyler's going with Jack Sawyer as the
And I can't
defensive
fault it.
MVP.
He
Yeah,
Not a
he
bad call.
crushed the quarterback. You know,
yeah.
And
The,
QB
the,
pressures are just as important as sacks these days, according to
absolutely.
the analytics of defensive coordinators. Absolutely.
Yeah, Ryan Day's beard. I'm going with Sawyer as well. That QB wanted no part of him. Dude, that poor quarterback on the sideline
You're
was
going to get me
trying to
started on the
check for his
coach again.
pulse at the end of the game. He's like, "Am I still alive? Like, is my heart still beating?"
I
Like,
think he was literally crying. I really think he was just over. I don't, my ribs.
who you got, Corey?
Man, this is a tough one. Gosh, it's a tough one. I didn't even think about defensive MVP. You know what? I'm gonna go. Lathan Ransom's a great call. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna deny that one. Jack Sawyer's a great call. I'm gonna go different. Go JT Tuimoloau. He did
Okay.
miss a tackle on the backfield that kind of drove me nuts, but he got a lot of consistent pressure on the quarterback. He sets the edge extremely well. 2 sacks. I'm gonna go with JT.
The other thing, he dropped really well into the passing lanes when they were
Yeah.
trying to get the ball to the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah,
I
He
think
did a
he's lost some
phenomenal
weight
job.
actually. And he's
he
looking more
has.
athletic. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is.
he absolutely has. I'm going to go with Jack Sawyer. The chat's going that way. I think having all of us give one Buckeye Leaf to all three of those guys, I think, is justifiable. Um, Jack, I wanted to see Jack look like he did in the bowl game,
Hmm.
and that's exactly what we got. So now he's starting to stack games in a row, even though they're from last year to this year. We're starting to see him stack a
That's more
consistent.
impressive though when you
Consistency.
think about
Yes.
it. I mean, it's not easy, but you can if you do it from game to game to game in the middle of the season, fine. But you literally continue it from over an off season, and you're still doing it. That's actually more impressive.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So, um, I love it. I love Jack Sawyer being kind of a beast there and really putting the fear of God in the quarterbacks. Man, we need to see that. Eventually you're going to see the other guys too. Even though we saw other guys get in on it, Jack is consistently in the backfield. He's got multiple moves.
Hmm.
The little swim move we saw was fantastic.
Spin move. Yeah.
The spin move,
Yep.
the power, the speed. He's got them all, and he's developed that repertoire. And I'm here for all of it.
He's
All right,
becoming very Bosa esque.
Nick Bosa, you remind me of Nick Bosa yesterday.
I will take
Absolutely.
that. I will take that, and I will take that and put that in the bank.
Every week, please.
All right, defensive play of the game. The defensive play of the game. Well, this one is going to be, yeah. I'll start with this one. There could be multiple, but I'm going to go with the Caden Curry strip sack, Latham Ransom scoop and score. Um, it sealed the deal. The game was over before that, but that was kind of like the exclamation point for the defense. And it was a snowball going downhill at that point. But Caden Curry, that was first off, even though the play went by him, he didn't give up. He pursued, came from behind, got the strip, and then the scoop and score was a beautiful thing. That's what I'm going with. What about you, Chris?
You know what? For me, I think it's got to be. I'm going to go with Denzel's interception. I think the scoop and score was great. I mean, just the fight that he had to get that interception. You know, the concentration it took to steal that ball away. I'm going to go ahead and take Burke's interception for the defensive play of the game. But hey, not to be forgotten, let's give a little love to the big man Tyreek Williams. A couple plays there where he was actually chasing guys down from behind. This defense is on another level, guys.
Yeah. All right, Corey, what you got, man?
Y'all took the good ones.
Oh,
Anyway,
I know,
There's still another one out
yeah,
there.
that's right. Mark just got a good one there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Powers, because I know it didn't have the biggest impact on the game; it was out of hand already. But the fact it was knocked up by Edric Houston, the up and coming freshman, who's going to be a monster, we all know it. Thank God he stuck with us, But and then, of course, it was just nice to see young guys. Houston get in the pass lane like he did, bounced off his helmet, and then Powers having the recognition and the speed and the athleticism to get the ball and just take it. Um, Powers, by the way, has completely transformed his body from when he got in on Ohio State. Because I remember he was
Yes.
he almost looked like a defensive end when he got here, and
Mm-hmm.
now he looks fully like a linebacker. And I'm like, man, Coach Mick did his thing with him, and you saw the athleticism getting down the field quick. Once he got the ball, obviously he was gone. But about the Ransom play, it was funny. I was watching the game with my friend Matt, and as soon as Ransom had the ball in his hands, I literally said out loud, "Touchdown!" No, nobody's going to catch him. He's done. He's gone. That was so obvious. And I love how opportunistic our defense is looking so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Gabe Powers. Chris and I got a chance to meet him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I've stood beside Gabe Powers. I'm not a small human being. Gabe Powers made me look like I'm a point guard. He is a monster of a human being. He could play
He's
defensive
like six
end.
four, isn't he?
Yeah, he could play
Yeah.
defensive end. Here's the thing. Like, I think that they kind of, when he came on campus, I think they may have thought he could possibly play D end, and they maybe put a little bit too much weight on him
Gotcha.
because he was a running back in high school too. We're
Yeah.
Hmm.
talking like trying to be a white man Zeke, tuck the jersey, show my six pack type of kid. And he ain't that right now. And he wasn't that when he got on campus. His dad's a power lifter and football
Mm.
coach, and he's got a little brother. Just saying. So we might have another Garrett Stover situation here when
Good.
that
Get the
happens.
family. Let's
Yeah,
make these family affairs here. Get them on campus.
yeah. And although this isn't defense, and we don't give out a special teams uh,
We may
Buckeye
have to
Leafs,
start a special teams Buckeye Leaf.
Ennis is going to return one. There ain't no doubt about it.
How much better are special teams already? I mean, like we
Night and
went.
day.
I'm so glad Ryan Day went with the Tressel method of coaching them and split it up amongst coaches. And all of a sudden, I was actually when we watched an Ennis last week yesterday run return punts. I was like, what is this? We haven't seen this in like 8 years. Somebody can return punts. My
Yeah.
goodness, he looked great.
Yeah, exactly, Speedman. He was. By the way, Speedman was at the game. So, did you stop at Racks like we said? Donald and Karen Rosbach. Will Howard was awesome using his feet to get out of sacks. Plus, he has a good feel for what's going on around him. Ryan Day's beard. Now that's funny actually, but very much
Yeah,
it's funny because it's true. Parker
we were
Flynn
all
being
waiting on that
framed.
news at the end of the offseason. We're like,
Yes.
when is it happening? He's got
Uh-huh.
to be gone.
Yeah, exactly. Offensive MVP, man. Offensive play of the game. The offensive play of the game. Pick
There's a
one from
couple.
Jeremiah Smith. Chris, go for it. You start.
What? Here's the thing. I'm going to go Aaron on you. I'm gonna I'm
Okay.
I talked to Aaron today on the chat, so I've got to go all Aaron on you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Jeremiah's one-handed catch, one of those, but I got to give a special Buckeye Leaf to one Travion Henderson, and it wasn't for the running, man. It was for that
Mm,
block where he just blew up that guy trying to get to the quarterback. He blew him up. That looked like an offensive lineman blocking right there. That,
That
that was a
block was
thing of
awesome.
beauty. I got to give one to each of them. They were that good.
Yeah. Oh, that was Speedman. He says I almost did. Stop and get them junior racks beefs, baby. Um, that was intense, and he
mm.
was more pumped up about that than I think just about anything else he did in that game, which tells me the maturity of Trey Henderson to
There's a
know
look
like
in his eyes this year, Eric. When you watched
yeah
him run, every time they would show him on film, there's a look in his eyes. He's hungry.
yeah to have when you can celebrate a good block and springing your teammate free or allowing that play to develop and you celebrate that as a team, there's something magical about that. It's not me first. It's not my stats. It's the team, right? And I think Trey has become such a team player, Chris, because of what he has done in accepting a Quinshawn on the team, bringing in those.
Yes.
By the way, Quinshawn got more carries than Travion did yesterday
Yeah.
by what was it,
13-8, something like that.
13 to 8, 5 more carries.
Mm.
You didn't hear him complain about it.
Nope.
He's the opposite of a prima donna. The
E-
polar opposite.
Exactly, exactly.
And people
Um,
dogged on Quinshawn. He averaged 4.2 a carry. That's about what he averaged last season.
Not to
Yeah,
mention, he's got to build that chemistry with the offensive
that's
line.
it.
I
That's
mean,
it. You saw it towards the end of the game. He started to break a couple in.
yep. Remember Trey Sermon took him all season basically to get that chemistry, and then all of a sudden you couldn't stop him. So
Oh, let it work that well.
yeah. I'm gonna go for my offensive play of the game. I'm gonna go with J.J. Smith calling a shot. I think that's gonna kind of live in infamy
Yeah.
for me. One of the things I'm gonna do this season is I'm gonna make a list of the top 10 plays of the season and just kind of re-rank them as we go along. And we get to the end of the year, we'll have a top 10 list. Him saying, "This is where I'm going to catch my first touchdown pass," and then him doing it, that might be tough to beat. I know we probably will have one at some point in the season that'll be tough to beat, but that one for me is play number 1A so far. So
Eric,
what about you?
I had to throw that comment up for you just for you because I know how happy you were when that play went down yesterday.
That was so BS. I'm not getting into it, Chris. We're going to stay positive. That a touchdown all
He
day
was hot.
long.
Let me tell you, he was hot.
I
The
believe
ball
it.
moved. It didn't. It didn't.
I didn't see the ball move at all.
It
No.
didn't move. By the way, when in. Okay, never mind. Let's not get into this. Oh
I
gosh.
feel your pain, Eric. I feel your pain, buddy.
Yeah, LSU just got a strip sack. Oh no,
Oh,
I think USC got the ball back. Yeah, they did. All right. Yeah, he got robbed. You're right, Sean. He absolutely got robbed. All right, Corey, what was your offensive play of the game, brother?
I'm going like I mentioned earlier because because I'm a weirdo and this excited me is when Howard avoided 2 rushers and threw the ball away to save us easy field goal. I know it's not a huge thing. Not nobody's going to look at it and go on the highlights and go wow. But to me, I was like, I don't. Even CJ had trouble with that at times, and I love CJ Stroud. But man, the fact he like one offensive lineman I forgot who was basically ushering the defensive lineman right to Will Howard's grill. He avoided him, the offensive lineman, and the second rusher. Nobody's open, throws the ball away. We have an easy field goal. We get points out of it. Yeah, it's disappointing not to get a touchdown, but the fact he can do that is so huge. I know it's a weird play to go for your favorite play, but I was actually geeking out at that. I was like, wow, that was actually some fancy footwork there. And look how athletic this massive quarterback is. And he made a smart decision by not forcing it, and we got
Yes.
points out of it. To me, those are the kinds of things that win big games. So
You
I
think
love
about
it.
it. Go back. What was our biggest knock on Justin Fields? He
He
tried
kept
to
taking
do too
sacks.
much. He tried to do too much, and we either
Yep.
take a sack or, you know, just try to put it into a bad position. Great quarterback, didn't maybe have that maturity to just say, "Hey, you know what?
Live to fight another day.
Live to play another down."
Yep.
You know.
I love that play. I know it. I know it. It's not a Jeremiah Smith one-handed catch. I understand that it's not as exciting as all that, but to me, that was like I don't remember. I don't remember last time we saw that kind of thing. So
Well, Ryan Day's beard will remind us what we saw last year. If that was Kyle McCord, he would have
oh,
intentionally grounded for
that's a
sure.
10-yard
That's
loss
grounding, yeah, every
or
time.
grounding, whichever. Yeah, it's a 10-yard loss, 100%.
I can't- oh shoot! And there was okay. He had a good game yesterday. Kyle McCord had good stats.
Yeah,
He had good stats yesterday against Ohio, who is a completely depleted MAC school. They got
Yeah,
absolutely
between us and Indiana and Alabama taking their kicker,
yeah. They all their best players are playing
we took
on
their tight end. Yeah, I forgot
yeah
about
are
that.
playing on possible playoff
yeah.
teams, and then you had the quarterback went to where did he end up going to? Their good quarterback went somewhere. Their good running
Was
back
it
went. The good running back went to Minnesota, I think it was.
Indiana's quarterback is
Oh,
at
it's Indiana. That's it. He went to
yeah.
Indiana.
I can't
So
remember if it was Indiana or Maryland. I knew it was one of those.
yeah. So I
I'm hoping
can't.
he has a good season. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, just I hope he does well. I mean, he's just not a good fit for Ohio State. Hopefully, he's a good fit there. We got our guy. Will Howard's a player.
Nobody else in the ACC wants to win it, so why not?
We're all
Gosh,
hard on McCord. You know what? You can have him, and he probably would actually be an upgrade for you
And
guys.
they would probably take him at this point
Michigan would definitely take him.
happily.
He'd
Yeah.
be their best quarterback easily right now. Yeah.
Probably the
Listen,
best one since Brady.
listen. We're I
Better than
got I
JJ.
Oh, don't get me started on how inept JJ actually was.
I admit he's overrated, but I mean, JJ's definitely better than what they had yesterday.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
Hmm.
correction, Chris. Bama took Miami's kicker.
I wanted that guy.
That's
I
what
was
I said.
hoping we would get him too. I was
Yeah,
Yeah.
hoping.
yeah, he's good. He was
Oh,
good.
Miami's, yeah.
The only I mean, it's going to be Syracuse and Miami Hurricanes conference in ACC. Who knows what's going to come out of that one?
Some people were predicting Syracuse will make the playoff.
I ain't going.
If they do,
I'm not going that far.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I think the ACC gets one
Although their
school.
schedule is so soft.
It is soft.
It is.
Miami's really their only big game.
And I can't tell if Cam Ward is that good or if Florida is just that much of a disaster. I just don't know for sure right
Yes.
now. Yes
I
to
think
both.
yes is the question. All right, answer, yeah.
That's fair.
All right, we're gonna take a quick